hard to try new things because you're pretty much guaranteed to fail. But that's why you need to go ahead and do it. I'm going to tell you about 5 different reasons why you need to just break on into the learning curve and start climbing that hill. It's the only way to break through that early stage of sucking at something and start breaking into the learning curve. You know, I was watching a live streamer last night. I forget who it was. I watched a few of them. But somebody was talking about in the comments, I'm sorry, I don't remember who you were, about being unafraid to try new things and the fear of failing holding people back. And I was thinking why that's kind of silly. It sort of doesn't make any sense if you think about it logically. When you try something new, by definition, you've never done it before. You're not going to be good at it. And if you believe there's a such thing as a learning curve in anything, you have to get past the beginning to start getting into the curve. And how silly it is to be unwilling to start the learning process and start engaging in the learning curve and starting to accelerate into that because of the fear of the failure that is just going to be a given when you're starting something new. And I guess the fear that people are going to judge you and criticize you is probably a really big factor in things. But the reality is, if you're not good at something, people aren't watching you anyway, probably. Very few people are watching you do something when you first start because you're just not good at it, and it's that's a cool boat. When you first start out at something, you're just not good at it. So you're not going to be that entertaining or fun to watch anyway. So very few people are likely to be watching you fail when you first learn how to do something, just because it's not really worth watching. I'm not trying to be mean with that, but very few people are watching when you first start something because it's just not worth watching, honestly. A lot less people are watching you fail than you think they are. And here's a really, really important secret. Hardly anybody is thinking about you. Nobody cares. And I don't mean that to be mean, but the thing is, they're so focused on themselves. They're not thinking about you because they've got the same low self-esteem, self-focus, anxiety that's holding you back. They're really not watching you. They're thinking about themselves and they're wondering who's watching them. So don't let worry of what other people are going to think or people who are watching you stop you from trying something new, because honestly, the people you think who are watching you and criticizing you are much more worried about what you're thinking about them. It's true. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. I've told you a million times, embarrassment is good. You want to be embarrassed. You should want to be embarrassed. It's good for you to be embarrassed because it trains your mind to be okay with being embarrassed, and then it frees you up to do things that embarrassment would normally hold you back from. And wouldn't it be great to not be held back by embarrassment because you're immune to it, because it doesn't bother you, because you almost enjoy being embarrassed? How crazy would that be? It'd be awesome, right? For example, I'm filming this talking to a camera at the Sam Griffith Overlook on Lake Okeechobee. And there's a gentleman and his young son sitting on the little dockside over here fishing. They can probably hear me talking. I don't think they can hear what I'm saying, but they probably hear me talking. Now, I should be embarrassed about that, but I'm embracing that. I'm letting myself feel the embarrassed that these two guys see a guy over there talking to a camera, probably thinks he's some kind of big YouTuber. Let them think what they want, because that feeling of self-consciousness and embarrassment that I'm feeling, and I am feeling it, I also recognize that it's empowering me and it's building a superpower in me, which is immunity to embarrassment. So go ahead, get embarrassed. It's very good for you. Thought somebody was watching me, but I think it's just an alligator. It's rather cold this week. We're in the 40 degrees down here in South Florida, so 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It's pretty cold for us. It's probably warmer now. It's probably like in the low 50s now, because it's the day's starting to creep on in. Alligators don't like the cold, so they're not going to be up where I can see them, but I might have heard a splash. But it might have just been a bird too. A lot of nice birds out here at Lake Okeechobee. They're the best fishermen of all, right? Anyway, you know, starting something new and trying something out that you're not good at is really the only way to learn. Because there's a learning curve to everything where you start at the beginning and you're not good at it, but the more you do it, the more you learn from mistakes and the more you start to grow a skill and get better at something. It's really the only way to learn to do something is just to do it. This might be one of the few times when Dunning-Kruger might work in your favor, where at the beginning you don't know how bad you are at something. You might even think you're okay at it when you're really not. It kind of works in your favor because it maybe gives you the freedom and the empowerment to try something new, where if you really knew how bad you were, maybe you'd quit. And we don't want you to quit. We want you to keep going and get better at it. And the better you get at something, the more you realize you don't know, and you kind of start to learn what you really have to, how far you have to go. That's okay. That's okay. As long as you don't try putting yourself forward to be the expert in something when you're really kind of crappy at it, it's okay. And hey, since you're still watching at this point, obviously this kind of stuff appeals to you. Hello, Crow Bro. I've got a crow show. It probably thinks I'm going to feed him. I am not going to feed you. Since you're still with me at this point, obviously this kind of talk appeals to you. I want to invite you to join me at our Wednesday night live stream. Every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, I do an hour or so live stream just talking about the same kind of thing with like-minded folks. A lot of nice people show up in the chat, and I'm sure they'd love to meet you and get to know you. So why don't you drop into the live stream? It's a great community of people who share what they're up to, share their wins, share their failures, and encourage each other. It really will be the best time you'll have all week. So drop in at this channel, 8 o'clock Eastern, every Wednesday night for our Outdoorsy Optimism live stream. I'd love to see you over there. So if there's something you're thinking about trying, but you're afraid to try because you've never tried it before, this sounds so obvious when I say it out loud, but I know it's in everybody's head. You just have to do it. You just have to go ahead and fail. Go ahead and fail, celebrate the failure, and then realize the next time you do it. You know, I heard the other day that if somebody's going to try something new, it would be a great idea to commit to doing it 3 times. If there's something that you're thinking about doing and you're not sure, well, you know you're going to be bad at it, don't commit to trying it. Commit to doing it 3 times. Decide, I'm going to do it 3 times. The first time's going to suck. You're immediately going to know what you did wrong. The second time, you're going to try to correct those things, and some of it you'll do better at, and some of it you won't. But by the time you get to the third one, and you've committed to doing it 3 times, so you're going to do it 3 times. By the time you get to that third one, by golly, you're going to be looking back at how much better it was than the first time, and you're going to be thinking, you know, I might get the hang of this pretty soon. So if you're going to try something new, try it 3 times. But hey, thanks for hanging in with me and listening. This is my first time making a video at the Sam Griffith Overlook Observation Tower. Very nice place. I highly recommend you come down here and hang out for a half hour or so. Get yourself out in nature and clear your mind of stress and chaos that comes with living in the city or the suburbs. Hey, that's a nice boat. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video.